It's a perfect night for high school football here in Colorado as we've got a big one in the Jeffco 5A Football League as Arvada West plays host to Chatfield as we are underway in league play. As you're watching Colorado high school football coverage on NSPN.TV, my name is Miles Dunklin. Stephen Bopp running the camera. Luch Panazzo helping out with some stats this evening. As we've got a big matchup here with Chatfield and Arvada West. 3-2 are the Wildcats coming into this one. A hot start for their season, wins over Thunder Ridge, Boulder, and Horizon, but a big matchup with Cherry Creek did not go their way, 42-0 in that one. And then last week against Fossil Ridge, a game they really feel like they should have won. Penalty-infested affair there for the Wildcats, 42-28. They lost that one on the road. For Chatfield, they come in pretty hot. 4-1, 2 wins in a row, a win over Thunder Ridge and Dakota Ridge most recently. Their only loss this season to Cherry Creek, so you look at that similar opponent, 34-17 was the loss that day for Chatfield. They're coached by Chris Rosholt in his second season here with the Chargers. Of course, Chatfield, a traditional state power here in Colorado. As Brad Pyatt's Arvada West Wildcats will get the football first. It was Chatfield winning the toss and electing to defer to the second half. Jaden Green and Adrian Somalia back deep to return. It's number 4 to kick it away, Andrew Astone. And this one will go into the end zone for a touchback. Our referee tonight is Mike Kelly wearing the white hat. The umpire is Chris Stearns. Stephen Whitman, the head linesman. The line judge is J.J. McClellan. And Aaron Mayaki is the back judge. Thanks to those gentlemen making sure we can have high school football this evening. So here's this Arvada West running game, or rather this Arvada West offense. And it's a powerful running game for the Wildcats. A young, up-and-coming passing game with their sophomore quarterback, Logan Duachek. And you're going to hear that word sophomore throughout the night. A very young class here for the Wildcats, very young roster. They've got 13 sophomore starters, and here's one of them, Adrian Somalia, a fine young running back, one of the best in the state of Colorado, already a 3-star recruit with a couple of FBS offers under his belt. In fact, there are 3 players with FBS offers on this Wildcat roster. Another one of them right there, big number 50, Giovanni Panazzo. He's already committed to Wyoming, so the senior will be taking his talents up north. Somalia and Jackson Pyatt hold offers as well as they try the left side. It's strung out nicely there by Chatfield, but a late flag comes in. Somalia with another carry there. They've got 2 really good backs with Somalia and Jaden Green. Both guys reside in that sophomore class.
5-yard incidental face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
That's the kind of break the Wildcats need to go their way this evening. Like I said, bit by the penalty bug last week. And really important to Brad Pyatt, as I spoke with him, to clean up that aspect of things for Arvada West. So right now it's 1 penalty for Chatfield, none for the Wildcats as we're just underway here, and that penalty will move the chains. Still Somalia in the backfield, and they'll give it to him again. He'll take the ball to the 40-yard line. And look, there's no secret at this point about a West offense. You talk to the other coaches, as I did with Chris Rosholt, and make no mistake that they are very open about the fact that they want to make Arvada West throw the football. They do not want to let them get their running game going with not only Somalia, but Jaden Green as well, an explosive running back for these guys. Somalia averaging 7.5 yards a carry, Jaden Green averaging 8 yards a carry. And each of them have at least 3 games with over 100 yards rushing. It's Somalia again, and he's driven back by that talented front line for Chatfield. It was Avery DeWeese, the senior, a converted linebacker, first on the scene, number 47. Also, you'll see number 91, I believe that's Cody Wittig on the defensive line there. Number 17, Nate Helms, also starting on the D-line. Reed Narva, Daniel Trusty, Logan Kundred, Hunter Balderstrom, Balderson rather, and Caleb Espinosa at the linebacker spots. Narva really a defensive back. Dagan Myers, Vin Weber, and Nagus Shelp in the backfield defensively for the Chargers, which is generally believed to be their best group, and things will get a little bit easier for them here with a penalty against the Wildcats. Shelp at one corner, Dagan Myers at the other.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Perhaps a couple of the best players on the roster for Chatfield, but an incredibly productive linebacking core as well. The juniors, Denzel Trusty and Logan Kundred, each with north of 60 tackles this season. Kundred's averaging 13 tackles a game as they throw it deep over the middle. It's caught and still rumbling into Chatfield territory. There goes Sean Trinder, the junior. A huge hookup for Arvada West on 3rd down and long, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Brad Pyatt's ball club. Can they get to 3rd down and long and deliver? Look, that's coming with this group. Logan Duachek's a good-looking quarterback, and he's only a sophomore. Nice to see him get comfortable early with that ball over the seam. Aiden Garcia, Noah Muir. Keegan Balistreri will play plenty of receiver for this club as well. It's been a big drive here for Adrian Somalia. And he'll take the ball to the 20-yard line. So Coach Pyatt telling me he's never really had a pair of running backs like this where you can really run one a bunch of times in a row and then put the other guy in and run him a bunch of times in a row. Both guys able to keep each other fresh. As we'll see a 2nd down and 3 here for the Wildcats. Able to get Chatfield to flinch, but not to jump. But both of those running backs bring something different as well. I'll elaborate on that in just a moment. They'll give it to Somalia again. And that's what a lot of the runs look like for Adrian Somalia. He has the ability to break away for sure, but a big, strong young man. I mean, he has really spent a lot of time in the weight room. Let's get a zoom in there on number 12. You see the arms and the legs on Somalia. He's an incredibly well-built sophomore. Then you look at Jaden Green, who's a lot more of a slasher, more of a home run hitter. And so it's nice you got that power back and the back that features a little bit more elusiveness in Jaden Green. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right here for Logan Duachek. Somalia still resides in the backfield. They'll give it to Adrian again. How about the fitness level of Adrian Somalia on this drive? I mean, he's carried the ball 6-7 times already here in the first 4 minutes of the game. And finally, he'll get a breather as you'll see number 1, Jaden Green, check in. And Green, like I said, in his own right, quite a threat. It's Panazzo at left tackle, Bryce Miller at left guard, 2 big redheads there on the left side. Jaden Somalia, Caleb Haar, and Braden Zack, the other men on the offensive line. And check that, I'm seeing Joseph Weisner in at right tackle, 66. It's Somalia again. None the worse for the wear. I thought he had checked out for a minute there. They stayed with the 2-back set, and Somalia carries the rock again. This next play will be the 10th of the drive for the Wildcats, thanks to Luch Panazzo on that. And if you're wondering, is that any relation to the left tackle? Yeah, it's his big brother. So Luch definitely happy to watch little big bro there at left tackle. He is a big man, 6'6", 250, committed to play for the Cowboys of Wyoming. 3rd down and 7, a big down and distance here for Arvada West. Trying the hard count again as the play clock rolls down. They set up a screen, and that never materialized. Looking for Aiden Garcia.
Aiden Garcia. And on the stuff quickly there for Chatfield, number 1, Dagan Myers.
Dagan Myers in there at corner.
A loss of 2. We got a 4th and 9 coming up.
Coach Pyatt extremely complimentary of the secondary group for Chatfield, especially those 2 corners, Myers and Shelp. Shelp at the top of the screen is a fine athlete for sure. And a timeout will be taken here on this near side. There you see Brad Pyatt right there at the 27-yard line. He won a state championship as a player at A West. Here he is coaching for the Wildcats. We'll be right back from the NAC. You're watching Colorado High School football coverage on NSPN.TV.
Local sports coverage can be found on NSPN.TV all year long. Subscribe to the Neighborhood Sports Network to watch events both live and on demand. Email jobs at nspn.tv if you'd like to join our team of broadcasters and camera operators. Welcome to the neighborhood.
As West breaks the huddle. No Somalia in there for the first time, getting a well-deserved rest. It's Green in the backfield. Green will flip sides. 2 receivers to each side stacked for the Cats on 4th down and 9, throwing toward the sticks. I think it's going to be short of the first down. Completed on the play to Sean Trender. But the play made there by Ben Weber, number 3, and that Arvada West drive will end up going for 11 plays, just about 5 minutes and 54 seconds. They went 70 yards, but unfortunately for the Cats, no points.
First down and 10 for their own 9.
So 6:06 remaining here in this first quarter, and we'll take our first look at the Chatfield Charger offense, the number 6 ranked team in the state of Colorado, have had a meteoric rise after a slow start to last season. They have been awfully good since. Handoff up the middle. And that one goes to number 23. That's Ball. So we'll see a little bit of Corey Ball
on first down,
and a little bit of Landon Mueller. Chatfield is out their top rusher, one of the top players in the state, top rising juniors in the state of Colorado, in Brock Narva. Narva rushed for nearly 1,000 yards last year as a sophomore. His brother Reed, a starter on defense, as they hand it off up the middle. My comment to head coach Chris Rosholt was that, hey, I'm disappointed not to see Brock. He's one of my favorite guys to watch, and he said, well, me too. One of my favorites.
Number 23, Corey Ball, the ball carrier.
So Ball gets the carry again there, and that will move the chains. Jackson Pyatt made the stop there for the Wildcats, and Pyatt limping around a little bit after the play, so that's not good news for the 3-star sophomore, already with handful of Division I offers under his belt. He's a heck of a ball player in the middle of that lineup for the Wildcats, throwing on the RPO, and the closest man to it was Adrian Somalia for Arvada West. I will mention again the fitness level for that young man. I mean, he just carried the ball, 9 times, 8 times on the other end, and there he is defending. Got the hands on the hips, I'll allow it, as you've just played about the whole first 7 minutes of the game. Let's tell you about the starters for Chatfield. Jake Jones, really good quarterback there. Number 13, the junior. 8 touchdowns on the season passing. The freshman Jaden Zeller will start in the slot tonight, number 11. But look out for Micah Lumpkin, number 5. As they hand it off again, it'll be Pyatt and Vigil combining on the stop. Those are 2 of the young bucks for Arvada West. So Colin Moat, 6'5", number 8. You see him right there in the middle of your screen. He's every bit of that 6'5". One of their veterans, number 9, back in the lineup, Charles Yannette, the senior. But Micah Lumpkin on the season, 15 catches, 278 yards for number 5, just 1 touchdown. But it's Drew Rollman that has been the touchdown maker for Chatfield. 13 catches, and 6 of them have gone for scores, as you see that beautiful moon What is that, a harvest moon? Is that what's going on right now? All right, I'm tempted to do the Keith Jackson impression, but I'll hold off. So 3rd down and 9 coming up here. Definitely look for Lumpkin, Rollman, and those receivers on this 3rd and 9. Lucas Peters, J.R. Harpstreeth, Declan Stroghem, Jesse Wolf, Cooper Witz, Chris Dinan. All see action on that offensive line. Looking to throw. Jones surveys. Now he takes off using his legs, and he'll move the chains across the 30-yard line. Have to be impressed with Jones. 915 yards passing, but 200 rushing, and 6 scores on the ground for Jones. And they really feel like he's a special player. The senior, number 13, has got weapons all around him, especially when they get Brock Narva back in the lineup. But good receivers, really good tight end there, and Drew Rollman, number 7, who's coming to the near side of the screen. Rollman there in the slot, 6'3", 200-pound tight end and wide receiver, and a big offensive line. With all day, looking for the deep ball down the sideline. Pretty good coverage over there for Arvada West. Jaden Nichols running stride for stride. Definitely had a chance. And Nichols, one of those 13 starting sophomores for the Wildcats. Looking for Yannette, number 9. Yannette missed a game earlier this year, but back out there. Big 2nd down and 9 as they'll hand it off up the middle. Solid gain there as Jackson Pyatt makes yet another play, number 3, in the middle of that lineup. Told you that he was limping after one play earlier, but looks like he's back and in good shape at the moment. New player in the lineup is number 29, the transfer over from Montbello, Tyreek Cullum, number 10, or rather number 29, a 10th grader into the lineup. I'll tell you about how that affects things for Arvada West here after this 3rd down and 4. It's a keeper for Jones, and twice he's moved the chains on 3rd down. Jones will power his way across midfield. Stop eventually made there by Cooper Greason and Atticus Tillman. But another chain-moving run for Chatfield. So we've got 2.5 minutes left to go in this first quarter, so things will shuffle around a little bit. They don't have Caleb Gomez this week, one of their good sophomores for A West, but it will be Cullum sliding into the outside linebacker spot, and that allows big number 5, Chris Rosner-Stevens. Let's find him right there in the middle of that defensive line. That is a good-looking defensive athlete for Arvada West. That's how you want him to look. And he can play the game as well. And it'll be a sack right on cue there as Chris Rosner-Stevens gets home, combines there with Kevin Sanchez. Got to give some credit to Vinny Vigil as well, who made him step up on the play. But those 3 guys right there, number 10, number 5, and number 11, some real good young players for the Wildcats. That's the defensive line. Pyatt, Meyer, and Tegan Shantz starting at linebacker. Shantz has been their leading tackler this season, number 2 and number 3 right now patrolling the middle of that defense. And it was plugged up well by the Wildcats. There is a flag down in the area of a hold. Vince Vio is just now a junior, but he's been a starter for Arvada West since he was a freshman.
Number 66, 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
So hold on the offense. In the secondary, Atticus Tillman, Cooper Greason, Jaden Nichols. Second down and about 20 for Chatfield here in a scoreless game. Over the middle, it is caught, paying the price for it on the reception. You got a bunch of big targets, trying to figure out who that was. That's number 9, that's Yannette, who's been targeted early and often in this one.
Charles Yannette, but we got a flags down.
A bevy.
Interference on the offense, number 2. 15-yard penalty, previous spot. Second down.
Bevy of good receivers, but a couple of mistakes here by the Chargers. I mean, usually one of these penalties can be a drive killer, if not both. So now it's going to be second down and 35. Let's get just a little bit of perspective here. Zoom out. That's where the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line. All the way to the right, we got to zoom out even further. There's the first down marker at the A West 39-yard line. So some work to do. And now if you're an A West fan, you're thinking, okay, let's find a way to make a play and at the very least get off the field here. You can't let Chatfield overcome this second down and 35. Good pursuit to the football there by Jackson Pyatt. Number 3 has been all over the football field to start this one. And what an impressive young man Jackson Pyatt is. His dad telling me that Jackson was not a kid that was always dominated athletically. A little bit more of a late bloomer, came to Dad about 7th grade and said, hey, Dad, I want to get in the weight room. And Brad Pyatt, who played several seasons of NFL football, certainly knows his way around the weight room, and you can see the results for his sophomore linebacker. Good ball game here at the NAC. It's the Chatfield Chargers and the Arvada West Wildcats playing to a tie after one period. We'll be right back.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Me the bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for you.
All right, it's a third down and forever. They need the 39-yard line, so call it a 3rd and 31 for the Chatfield Chargers, the number 6 ranked team in the state of Colorado. Jones, a pump fake. Now they set up a little jailbreak screen and real good pursuit to the ball there by number 5. That's your defensive tackle. As Chris Stevens-Rosner blows that play up, and once again, I mean, that is a big, strong kid there in Christopher Stevens-Rosner. I mean, he's a physical force, to say the least, and adding Colum into their lineup allowed them to move number 5 down to that defensive nose tackle spot. They're already really set with Vigil and Sanchez at the other 2 ends. Some good young players here for the Cats. That's a gorgeous high spiraling kick, and it will be returned by Cooper Greason at the 24-yard line. Greason, an interesting character. Terrific lacrosse player, one of the best in Jeffco. He's a good athlete all the way around, but they didn't have Cooper until just a few weeks before the season started, so still trying to find and really kind of finding now what his role is, punting, returning punts and kicks, and playing some defense, but could probably line him up at receiver as well. So it's Logan Duacek and the offense's second try for the Cats. Had a long, time-consuming drive the first time out that did not result in points. As you see Jaden Green dancing around there for just a moment, And then dragged down by number 24, that's Reed Narva.
It's a handoff there, number 1.
So no Brock Narva tonight, out of the lineup, hamstring issue for the Chargers, but Reed Narva playing that nickel corner safety spot. Each of these teams deploying a 3-3, looking more like a 3-4 right now for the Chargers. Nice hit there on Green. Green still able to push the pile. I believe the first hit applied there by Logan Kundred.
Handout to number 1, Jaden Green.
So just how many tackles have 33 and 31 made for Chatfield? Well, they've played 5 games. Kundred has made 69 tackles. That's roughly 14 tackles a game for number 33. That is about as productive as you can be. Number 31, that's Denzel Trusty. He's made 63 tackles. That's roughly 12 a game. So you're looking at 25 tackles between 33 and 31 per ball game. As Arvada West tried the QB sneak, it's going to depend on the spot. It did not look like the pile moved an awful lot there. Of course, big conversation around the game of football right now that the tush push, and it's a lot easier said than done to move that ball an inch across when everybody knows on the other side what's coming. And a discussion here for our officials as Logan Duacek comes to the sideline to chat with his head coach, Brad Pyatt.
After the play was over with, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense.
Wow.
15-yard penalty results in a first down.
Huge play, and I think the key word there was the penalty results in the first down. I don't think they had it, and you know, Coach Pyatt, hard to say what the call would have been there. I would imagine they would have kicked it away. Long game, second quarter. It's a big call. So kind of everything that was going against the Cats last couple weeks has gone for them here in the first half. Let's see if they can take advantage. That one's through the hands of Duacek. It's recovered by Chatfield at the 45-yard line. And it's number 47, Avery DeWeese, on the recovery. Huge play for the defensive lineman there for the Chargers. And for DeWeese, his first turnover forced of the season. And even hard to call that a forced turnover. That's a mistake that Arvada West sure on their offensive sideline over here. That's one they feel like they want back. And see the conversation right now between Jaden Somalia and Logan Duacek, a couple of sophomores there. And you know what? Look, when you are starting 13 sophomores out of 22 possible starters, I mean, that is a lot of youth for the men in purple on this near side. And I think you got to give some credit to Coach Pyatt and company, maybe even ahead of schedule, especially when you look at the schedule that they played and the schedule they're going to play, as Chatfield trying to make the Wildcats pay. Another tackle made there by Jackson Pyatt as it's Bowl taking it for about 9 yards. Nice pickup there. But Pyatt has been everywhere on defense for the Cats. I mentioned the weight room. Back in May, Jackson Pyatt is a 14-year-old, so he's a year younger than the other sophomores out there, squatting 515 pounds at age 14. That's a physical freak show. Up the middle. Dragged down quickly there by Tegan Chance. His ball moved the chains for the Chargers. And new weight room there at Arvada West has made a big difference for their ball club. That was one of the things that Coach Pyatt told me was a major key for them, that just getting everybody time in the weight room. I belong to a gym right down the street. I see a lot of A-West kids in there. But that culture has really permeated their football team. Flag is down in the area of a hold. This one might be coming back for the Chargers.
Number 5, Christopher Stevens Rosener on the
But they've got 4 or 5 kids squatting
On the offense, number 56.
500 pounds.
First down.
And you can just see the physical makeup of Arvada West, pretty impressive, especially when you consider a lot of those guys are young kids. Somalia, Pyatt, those guys certainly leading the charge in that regard, but really more physically developed than we're used to seeing a sophomore. I'm a Texas high school football guy. I've seen some big kids down there, but those guys right there at the top of the list for time spent in the weight room. Trying the left side with that Chatfield running game. Solid pickup once again there for number 23, the junior Corey Ball. Cameron Meyer on the scene for the Wildcats. It is 0-0. 7:30 left in the second quarter. Real time of possession advantage here for Arvada West. Off of that first drive, took over 6 minutes, but no points on the board for either side. For Chatfield, they've moved the ball well when they haven't shot themselves in the foot with penalties. That's been a huge problem. Jones up the middle. He got rocked. The ball came out, and it's picked up by the Chargers. Oh, my goodness. Jones. I mentioned the physical strength from the Wildcats, and it was felt by number 13 on that play.
And that's Jake Jones, the ball carrier.
Chargers fortunate to retain the football.
Logan Duacek.
They give Duacek credit for the hit. He's the quarterback.
Correction, number 29, Tyreek Coleman.
Tyreek Coleman is who they gave credit there. That's the transfer from Montbello. Happy to have him in the lineup. 3rd down and 20. Throwing over the middle, wide open receiver. And that's a first down for the Chargers as they hit a big one on 3rd and long to move the chains, and that's their tall outside receiver, Colin Moat, at 6'5". As there's an injured man down here for the Wildcats.
They go for a first down for Chatfield.
As Chatfield moves the chains on a big gainer there. Pivotal play in the second quarter with 6 minutes left. And unfortunately, right now, an injured Wildcat. So they will tend to that young man. And we'll take a breather up here in the booth as well. You're watching Colorado High School football coverage on NSPN.TV.
You're watching NSPN.TV, the neighborhood sports network. For a low monthly rate, you can watch every game and show in Colorado and around the country.
Welcome to the neighborhood. You're watching NSPN.TV.
First and 10.
Up the middle. It's Meyer wrestling down Corey Ball. It was number 29, Tyreek Cullum, that was down on the play. And not only are they missing now Tyreek Cullum, they're also missing Caleb Gomez, who Cullum's currently replacing. So it's number 46 into the action, Alexander Rowland, junior linebacker. Timeout will be taken here by the Cats. We'll take a break as well. Watching Colorado High School football coverage here on NSPN.TV.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Need a bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we
Talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Good news is Tyreek Cullum's back in the lineup here for A West. Nothing ball game. It's Jones surveys in the flat. Has his fullback. Nice hit over there by Cooper Greason. Take notes at home. That's how you take down a much bigger man. As they had Jude Smith, a 210-pounder. I don't know how big Cooper Greason is, but I don't think he's much bigger than 170, if that. So, and that's no disrespect, Cooper. I like the way you play the game there and go ahead and take out the bigger man by going low. But a nice completion there for Jones and company. As Jake Jones move the ball with his legs on third downs. And he wants to do it again. It was Greason able to drag him down, but had a feeling that threat of the quarterback run there on third and short, too appetizing to pass up for the Chargers, and they'll move the chains. Beauty of running that zone read. These days, inside zone, for a lot of folks, is zone read every single time. We're gonna give the quarterback the option to go ahead and pull it. And you got one with the experience, decision-making. First word out of Coach Rosholt's mouth about his quarterback was smart. 1st and 10 here from the 8. Here he is, rolling left, throwing in zone. Nearly intercepted over there in the corner. It was Nichols that got his hands on it. They've got some exciting young defensive backs. Atticus Tillman as well. I believe Atticus's dad is the secondary coach for Georgia Tech at the moment. And I believe he played some NFL football as well. So you look at Tillman, just a sophomore. Nichols, just a sophomore. And Somalia back there, also a sophomore. 2nd down and 9, and I think this might be a delay of game against Chatfield. Greason tackled Jones. The Chatfield folks aren't thrilled about that.
Prior to the play, encroachment on the defense, number 29.
And they get Tyreek Cullum.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Coach Pyatt excited about getting Tyreek into the mix there at A West. Can they bow up and get a goal line stop here, or is Chatfield going to take their first lead of this one? Score the opening points here at the NAC. And a big matchup of what are currently ranked the number 3 and 4 teams in the Jeffco League. Little pistol set. And they'll give it to DeWeese, and it's DeWeese into the end zone. What a series there for Avery DeWeese. He gets the fumble recovery and then cashes it in for the score. And Chatfield takes his second quarter lead, make it 6-0 Chargers. So doing a little bit of everything is number 47. The fumble recovery at defensive end and the goal line power back. Scores it. And to my knowledge, that is Avery DeWeese's first carry of the season. Came at a good time.
Part of the play, encroachment on the defense.
How about that drive by Chatfield? 11 plays, took over 5.5 minutes and 55 yards. So both of these teams really grinding out their offense tonight. It's amazing sometimes you watch a game like this and then you watch a track meet where each team's throwing it up and down the field. Doesn't seem like the same game, but just It's a different brand of football. As each of these teams kind of feeling each other out in this opening half, but it's the Chargers laying the first blow. Extra point is up and good by Andrew Estone. And it's Chatfield now with a 7-0 lead. So Brad Pyatt mentioned to me several times when we talked, we got to avoid the big play on defense. Got to keep Chatfield from scoring from distance. And so far, they've done that. And I think as well, if you said to Coach Pyatt, hey, Chatfield's got 7 points with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, probably take that as well. Got to go turn those positive offensive drives into points for the Cats if they want to turn this into a victory. Let's take a look at the Jeffco League. Columbine moved to 6-0 last night with a thorough defeat of Pomona. Columbine currently the number 3 ranked team in the state. Chatfield and A West in action here. It's Ralston Valley taking on Lakewood right down the road. RV the number 2 ranked team in the state, and Lakewood currently winless at 0-5, so definitely RV a big favorite in that one. Astone a high kick will be fielded by Somalia at the 1, fumbled the football, and now he'll carry it out across the 16, really kind of avoided disaster. Ultimately only lost a few yards on the exchange, but that's one for my money. High enough. Go ahead and fair catch that football.
On the return and on the stop there for Chatfield, number 62.
Last week's action, it was Eagle Crest over Lakewood 44-7. Columbine beat Fort Collins 57-13. It was a thriller with Ralston Valley and Valor Christian 22-21 as Valor fell to 1-4. Hard to believe that. Good football team. Just haven't been able to get in the win column as much as they'd like. Trying the right side here is Green and just too many white jerseys. How about the discipline to set the edge there by Reed Narva? Just never gave in as that was Green really trying to probe. Where can I find the hole? And it just never appeared.
On the stop for Chatfield, number 24, Reed Narva. Goes for a loss of
and it was A West also last week losing to Fossil Ridge 42-28. That game was tied entering the fourth quarter. A West was close. They fell to 3-2. Second down and 12 here for the Cats. Do a check. Throwing left side, and you know the screen was complete, but usually on that screen, you got the big bodies out in front, and there was nobody there blocking for number 13, Aiden Garcia. So got to make sure you get those big bodies out in front on the little bodies. Spring that one for a big one. Narva makes another play for the Chargers of Chatfield. State champions as recently as a couple of seasons ago. Do a check, throwing into the second window and short. One of his favorite targets there, Nono Muir.
Incomplete. Looking for number 21.
So Noah Muir unable to hold that one in as Do a check just a bit short on the throw. Had a window to maybe get that one complete, but it's a punting situation for the Cats.
Number 1, Dagan Myers. And number 11, Jaden Zeller.
It'll be Michael Linnerson to punt. They've been trying to figure out that role. Had Greason there for a while. And that's a decent kick. It will be fielded by Dagan Myers. Myers with a seam down the sideline. And the punt return touchdown for Chatfield. Back-to-back scores by the Chargers. This one comes on special teams. It's Dagan Myers.
Touchdown, Chatfield Chargers.
The A West sideline and crowd silenced. And that Chatfield sideline and crowd have certainly come alive. Make it 13-0 Chargers. Astone again for the point after attempt. Out of the hold of the freshman, Jaden Zeller. The southpaw kicker makes it 14-0 Chatfield in here with 2:19 left in the first half. And Chatfield getting the ball to start the third quarter. This really becomes a must-have drive here for the Cats. Early in this game. Chargers imposing their will in this second quarter. They have been a fast riser in the state's top 25. It's Cherry Creek, of course, number 1. Then you look at 3 Jeffco teams in the next 5. RV number 2, Columbine number 3. You could flip a coin right there in terms of their rating. Very close. Pine Creek number 4, Arapahoe 5, and then this Chatfield squad is ranked number 6 in the state of Colorado. A West checking in at number 19. They had risen as high as number 12. Of course, the rating stuff, not something those coaches look too much at. As this one gets away from Somalia at the goal line for the second time. Once again, he'll pick up the 16-yard line. As some extracurriculars behind the play.
Number 12, Adrian Somalia.
Surprised there was no flag there. The white hat was right on top of it. But right now, momentum wearing white and red for Chatfield for sure. The sequence there, the fumble on the snap. High snap for Duacek. Recovered by DeWeese. Then DeWeese scores it for Chatfield on his first carry of the season. And the punt return score for Dagan Myers. They throw it right side. It's been a big day so far for number 86. That's Sean Trinder. Looking for that pass catcher to step up in this A West offense. The running game certainly with some known commodities there, but that group of Garcia, Eklund Hatch, Sean Trinder, and Noah Muir. Good players there for sure, but none of them have really stepped up. Super productive so far this season. Of course, a lot of attention on that running game. There's Noah Muir. But the best news for this A West team is all the best is still to come. The snap bobbled again. Well done there by Duacek to even get the football in the belly of Adrian Somalia. And Somalia picks up 1. It'll be second down and 9 with 63 seconds left in this first half. Receivers stacked to each side. They'll drop it down. Somalia in the flat. Can he get to the boundary? Did they run the clock? No. Stop made by Will Lawrence, number 10. So a lot of talk about Columbine RV. They will play a big game right here at the NAC on our air next week. These two teams right here feel like they're going to have their say in this league as well. Throwing into the second window, it's caught. Chain mover for the Cats. It's Keegan Balistreri. Just 48 seconds left in this opening half. Ball's close to midfield there at the 48-yard line of Arvada West. Under the full moon. Duacek navigating the pocket. Now he wants to run. And picked up about 5. Clock will continue to roll unless they take a timeout, and they do. So the Wildcats take time. And they would love to find a way to get some points on this drive. Played, I think, pretty well in the first half. A couple of plays. The fumble at midfield They gave the ball back to Chatfield and maybe overran the kick just a little bit. Did not have a lot of integrity in terms of their lanes on that run back for Chatfield. And look, that's the number 6 team in the state over there. So, we're not comparing ourselves to the Sisters of the Poor. That's Chatfield. But the Wildcats without a lot to show for it here in the opening half, trailing 14-0, so they'd love to get on the board here. Arvada West will play Lakewood next, and they'll go to Columbine, to Pomona, and finish the season at home against the Mustangs of Ralston Valley, currently tabbed as the number 2 team in the state. 2nd and 5, rolling right, got to his back foot, wanted to throw it deep. Now he'll go closer to the sideline, was looking for Noah Muir. Incomplete. Muir, another sophomore. Coach Pyatt telling me that he's had the light bulb go on a little bit recently of, yes, I can play at this level. I can make plays. Can be an impact player in varsity football. Anytime you move up a level in a sport, you got to have that moment. Prove it to yourself. Yes, I can do this. 3rd down and 5 for the Cats. On the Charger side of the 50. Do a check. Throwing back left side in good discipline by Chatfield.
Two checks pass incomplete. He's looking for number 12, Adrian
Tony Carlino
coverage for Chatfield, number 10, Will Lawrence.
Stayed home. That's Carlino, 18. And really never let Somalia. They wanted to kind of sneak Adrian to the left side. Acted like the action was going right. So well defended there by Chris Rosholt's squad. And they'll punt it away again. So Dagan Myers is at the near hash. And it's the freshman Zeller. The top of the screen is this one will go way out of bounds. We'll see where they set up Chatfield. So how about the run for the Chargers? Since they started last season at 0-4, okay, you win the state championship, you go up a level. They lost 17 starters. They lost to Cherokee Trail, Cherry Creek, Thunder Ridge. Nothing to be ashamed about there, but since then, won 4 in a row. Did lose late to RV and Columbine, but won a playoff game against Fairview. And to start this season, they are 4-1. Chris Rosholt telling me, hey, we knew last year was going to be a transition year. On the flip side of losing 17 starters last season, they brought back 17 starters this season. A handoff up the middle. And we'll see if Chatfield wants to take time. It looks like they are content with a 14-0 score as we will go to the halftime break. 2 chapters closed in this opening half. It's homecoming here for A West, so we will have a bunch of festivities here at the halftime break. Got to thank Stephen Bopp again for running the camera. Luch Panazzo taking some stats for us. And Stephen will keep it right here. We'll make sure to film the halftime presentations here at the NAC. But the headline here is Chatfield 14, Arvada West 0. My name's Miles Dunklin, bringing you every game here from the NAC this season on NSPN.TV. We'll take a quick break under that full moon here in the Centennial State. Be back for the band presentation, as well as the homecoming court for the Wildcats.
You're watching NSPN.TV, the neighborhood sports network. For a low monthly rate, you can watch every game and show in Colorado and around the country.
Welcome to the neighborhood. You're watching NSPN.TV.
Okay, so one thing, like I said, they'll be real helpful for tomorrow. So, like I did some spotting for the Broncos, for the opposing radio team.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned from those guys is they want
Students
help.
and parents,
Not just
welcome to the
after
Arvada
play,
West High
of
School
who's made the block or who's made the
2023
tackle,
Homecoming
who's in the
Halftime
game
Show.
at a given position.
Please welcome the Arvada
So,
West High
it's
School
as simple as
Wildcat Marching
every
Band
play,
under the direction of Laura Villardo. The Wildcats program is entitled A Star's Journey and includes duets by Gwen Dreen and Ava Hardin as well as Ryan Kilbrough and Jacob Miller. Drum majors Abigail Koss and Joe McMaster and the Arvada West High School Wildcat Marching
And I don't need to
Band.
guess about who's got the ball. Right? So really just the drive charts. And then the spotting will be, like I'd love to get your help on who's made the block. 50 block. Cool. Right? So 12 takes it for a 20-yard gain. I can see all that. I have a hard time seeing who's made the block, so if you go I go, and leading the way on the play, Bryce Miller there at left guard.
Yep.
Okay, and same thing on defense, just if you're pointing to a guy, I'm going to assume that's who made the tackle, unless you kind of motion otherwise. And the other thing I'll say is that I've had spotters before that I will not use their block 2 times in a row, then they get up. Just keep it coming. Okay. With me and with Dover, just keep it coming. Just the whole game, never stop. So my job is to kind of like filter all the information. There's so much information. I just got to decide what I'm going to use. Not every time am I going to say make the tackle. So that'll be kind of the main thing. Can you bring some binoculars?
Got him in a case.
I can't find mine tonight, so I'll find them. I just got home from work and didn't have enough time.
Yeah, I got him ready. There's a case for him and everything.
Will you text me if those guys come in here and get ready for their interview?
Yeah.
The Arvada West Wildcat Band. The band is under the direction of Laura Weadar, with assistance from Ken Sawyer, Colin Sitgreaves, John Zimney, Braden Holmes, Scott McGivern, and Carson Wedding. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the Arvada West High School Wildcat Marching Band. Now, I need you to make some more noise for our second performers. Let's hear it for the Arvada West Cheers and Palm Squad.
What you know about rolling down in the
All right, in the time that we have all been waiting for, it is time to announce this year's homecoming royalty.
I just want to introduce you to Mark Mosier.
Hey, good to see you, man.
Hey,
How are you? Good to see you, brother.
I'm
Steve. Right on, man. Good to see you, brother. How's everything?
Oh, it's awesome.
Mark Mosier, good to see you. How are you? Good to see you.
His big brother's the Wyoming commit out there.
Oh, sweet, man. That's awesome. Well, obviously we're doing the hockey game Sunday. It's our final preseason game on altitude. Then friggin', once we hit the regular season, it's all crazy. Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Starting with our freshmen, please welcome Seth Thomas and Piper
This is
Thibodeau.
like going back to my roots, man. I love this. Absolutely love it. This looks good. That looks really good.
Yeah, that's us here.
That looks killer. Yeah. That's rad.
Especially like football games here at the NAC, so it's kind of nice.
Next we have our sophomore royalty.
Right down the road,
Please give it
so
up for Nicolette Loki and nobody but
Good to see you.
herself.
It's my fourth year at
Please do.
He's doing audio engineering.
I feel like I'm
So,
Sure.
it's hard to go.
No, I
As
saw
you
the
probably know, it's hard to take that next step.
Absolutely. Here,
That's
what's
the
your
Grand
number? I'll
Canyon.
text you my number.
214
Okay.
587
Okay.
3617.
Okay.
yeah, my brother's that big fan.
Just anything.
Now for your junior royalty, congratulations to Leo Day and Hannah
Good to see you, brother.
Gilbert.
All right, take care. Good to see you. Bye, guys. Be good. Thank you. Take me back on the roof. It's getting a little chilly, but it's pretty windy up there.
Oh, it's gorgeous
I taped down everything I got.
He's a character, man.
Thanks, that was awesome.
Yeah, you bet.
And last but certainly not least, your senior class royalty finalists. First off, we have Taven Bacco, escorted by her parents, Rebecca and Steven.
Matt McLeod. I can't get his last name. McChesney.
Oh, really?
Yeah. just about to go find Matt. He's here with his boy.
That's crazy.
But Matt's quite a character. He coaches up a lot of these guys playing offensive line. But I don't know if you guys
Next
follow
we
him.
have Lance Yang,
he's a
escorted by
personality, to say
James
the least.
Hudgens.
And he played in the NFL at offensive and defensive line, so
That's a good point.
which is like pitching and hitting. Like it's two totally different skills. Like you have to be big and strong to do both. That's about the only similarity between the two. So he's a pretty interesting cat for sure.
Next we have Joe Wisner, escorted by his brother Jake and his mom Amy. Next we have Tatiana Parker, escorted by her parents Gretchen and Felix.
Yeah, that was Matt just there going by. Like the dude shakes your hand. It's like 3 hands. And he like it's not like he's trying to kill you.
Yeah, it's
but it's just it's an
just a
NFL
massive guy.
offensive lineman hand. He's not a regular person.
Next we have Jordan Schneider, escorted by his brother Tyler and his mom Candace.
I'd ask Murs to make a connection there and try to move up the ranks,
Oh, definitely. Hate to say it, nepotism's the way to go.
And finally, we have Brooke Pavlich, escorted by her parents, Mark and Bobby.
I asked Matt what he thought of your brother, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He said he's good. He didn't say a whole lot else. He's like, he needs to put on some weight.
Yep.
He's like, everybody's got something to work on.
That's the big thing.
And it's because he could weigh, he's 315, probably pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what's going on with this lock. I need to keep locking.
Because he's got the strength at the moment.
And you can get him in the weight room for the next 2 or 3 years before he'd ever see a college field anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And add some of the, but like the frame and the quickness and like his other raw abilities are, you can't coach
All
that.
right, friends, the moment you have all been
It's just
waiting
something he's got to
for.
work on next year.
This
I'm sure
year's
they will
junior
feed him.
class
Sure will.
royalty winners are
Really?
Is it like peanut butter
Brooke
sandwiches
Pavlich
and all that
and
kind of
Lance
They all get
Yang.
personal chefs down there.
Well, I'm talking about now.
Oh,
Like,
well,
what's it
yeah.
doing now?
It is a snacks every few hours.
Congratulations to all of the Arvada West Homecoming 2023
Protein shake in the
corps.
morning, followed by another meal
It's
of
gotta get
some
like the
sort.
oats going, you know? You
Yeah.
just like pack in the
Please
calories.
proceed to the track to take pictures. And of course, go Cats.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
The way those kids eat is no joke. Like it's not. Some people are like, oh, that sounds like it's the best, but like you gotta eat way more than you want to eat.
An uncomfortable amount.
Yeah. Especially if you're in the position that he's in, trying to gain the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've known some of those guys that like they're not naturally 300 pounds. They're naturally 240 or whatever, 230, like Tyler Columbus.
Oh.
It's like that's a lean guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're big and strong, and you have to put on the weight to play the game. And then as soon as you're done playing the game, it just like flies off like that. Let's get you guys going.
Are we filming the
Welcome back to the NAC. My name is Miles Dunklin. We're going to take one more quick break, and then when we come back, Dennis Ployce, the SID of Jeffco, will have a conversation with Micah Porter, the principal at Arvada West, and actually right on cue. I'm going to go ahead and hand over the headsets here. Love the jacket, by the way, looking sharp. Thank you.
All right, this is Dennis Ployce, Sports Information Director with Jeffco Public Schools, doing our Jeffco Preps with Ployce halftime edition. And my guest today is Micah Porter, principal at A West. Mike,
Dennis, how are you doing?
Good to see you. Great to see you. Your first year here. Tell me about your background. I knew you 20 plus years ago when you were coaching cross country and track, and obviously you've moved on from coaching, but you've been in a assistant principal, you've been principal, and now you're at A West. Just kind of tell everybody about your background a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. So I started my career at Devlin. I was head track and cross country coach there for 19 years and taught history and just involved in athletics and activities for a number of years there, and then wanted to grow a little bit as a professional and left Jeffco for a couple years and went to Denver, opened Northfield High School. I was the athletic director there for 3 years and then came back to Jeffco. Very excited to be back and joined the staff at Alameda as activities director, and then a few years at Warren Tech, and now I'm leading the Wildcats, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah. Tell me why A West was a destination that you wanted to be at a little bit. I mean, obviously a big school and one of the only growing schools with attendance-wise. I know Golden and them are the only ones that gone up. Obviously, our attendance or enrollment's down a little bit. But talk about why A West for you.
Well, the community is amazing. I mean, they just support their neighborhood school like one I've never seen before, particularly in a metro area where it's really, really difficult to build that community. A West has just a tradition of supporting students and supporting the staff. And, I knew that looking from the outside, and that's a community I want to be a part of. The students are incredible. I got to spend almost once a week there last year as I was transitioning in, and just, embracing, they've embraced me as their leader, and plus I love the color purple. That helped. But, just the opportunity to lead in instruction and athletics and activities, all things that I've had a background in, to be able to be part of a staff where I can kind of incorporate all of those passions is really a privilege. Yeah.
Tell me what you saw from the sidelines. Obviously, the Cats need some points. They need to get the points on the board for this big homecoming crowd here. Yeah,
I got a little friendly wager with Mr. Thanos, the principal over there. So we got a little work to do here. We're young. We've been tested the last few games to see how we respond when we're down, and this is really a great opportunity for the team to kind of step up and show that they belong here. But really, really pumped. Yeah, it's going to be a great second half.
Yeah, all right. We're about ready for kickoff here, so we'll throw it back to Miles. Thanks again.
All right, Dennis.
Micah, for joining me. Always great to see you. And
you as well.
And thanks for tuning in to NSPN's broadcast here, and we'll hand it back to Miles.
All right, go Wildcats.
All right, our thanks there to Dennis Ployce of the Jefferson County School District, the SID for Jeffco, and a series of weekly conversations with the leaders in this community. Also thanks to Micah Porter there of Arvada West High School, as we are getting set and ready for the third quarter here at the NAC. Extended halftime this evening with the homecoming festivities there for A West, as well as the band presentation. And now we're set and ready for some third quarter football.
Set to kick this one away for A West.
I think our executive producer, Amy Fauché, our technical producer is Brad Duke. On the camera tonight, Stephen Bach. Stats is Luch Panazzo. My name's Miles Dunklin, your broadcaster. As that kick for the Wildcats will go out of bounds. So definitely a big drive for this A West defense to get things started in quarter number 3, especially when you look at the Wildcats, the way they're composed on the offensive side of the ball. They want to have the lead. They want to run the football. So not a team that wants to get down. Obviously, no football team wants to get down a couple of scores, but not built, I should say, in an ideal world to make comeback attempts. Definitely interested in playing with a lead. So they're going to make A West re-kick it here to start this third quarter.
Number 35, Ian Morellis to kick it off again.
It's Ian Morellis.
Back deep to receive for Chatfield, number 1, Myers.
Dagan Myers.
Number 11, Jaden Zeller.
And Jaden Zeller back deep to return. Myers already has a punt return touchdown in the game. And he'll have an opportunity here on a kick return and ended up letting it trickle out of bounds. So a little bit of a mistake there for Chatfield as they'll lose, 18 yards on the penalty that they accepted. Well, hard to know that's how it was going to play out, but the ball will go all the way back to the 17-yard line. Myers had kind of a sidewinder coming in. That's a lot harder than it looks to field that football on the kickoff.
Chatfield will take it to start the second half.
That's Chatfield's offense now.
16-yard line.
Will take the field. One touchdown drive in that first half is Avery DeWeese, not a usual offensive player, who punched it in for the Chargers. And really nice first half. Not a huge half statistically there for Jake Jones of the Chargers, but did a really nice job of leading the offense and had some big third down runs to move the chains. So you see number 13 there, top of the screen, the senior. He's the leader for that Chatfield offense. Lucas Peters, J.R. Harpstraith, Declan Strogum, Chris Dinan, Cooper Wicks, all on that offensive line. Jesse Wolf in there as well. As there goes Jones, eventually dragged down by Cooper Greason, number 8 for A West. Jones, another chain mover. And I feel like every time he's run the football in this game, it's been a first down run. Whether they needed 1 or needed 10, he's been able to come up big on the money down. This A West defense needs to make a play. Find a way to get their team back in the game here. Trailing by a couple of scores. Numbers on the right side in the run game, able to get into the secondary before getting touched there for Corey Ball. Chatfield's missing their top runner in Brock Narva. But Ball's done a great job filling in. Ball this season, 37 carries, 202 yards for an average of 5.5 and 1 touchdown. Jones has been a big runner for them this season, their second leading rusher. 30 carries for 197 yards and 9 touchdowns. Also averaged about 6.5 yards a carry. Up the middle. Took a big hit at the end of the run there from Cameron Meyer. Nice sportsmanship, by the way, from both those men, and Corey Ball and Cameron Meyer, as Corey Ball took the big hit. Gave Meyer a little bit of respect there, the tap on the helmet.
First down. There's number 0, Atticus Tillman.
Tillman also there to trip him up.
So Chatfield moving here.
But Chatfield's marching it down to the 39-yard line. Look at that big offensive line. Number 73, that's Cooper Wicks, 6'1", 325 at right tackle. And 75 at right guard, that's Jesse Wolf, 6'3", 290. So let's get a zoom in on that right side of that Chatfield offensive line. 73 and 75, that's Wicks and Wolf. And both of those guys are I'd say the all-you-can-eat buffet's worst nightmare. Don't want to see those guys coming in. You're not making a profit margin off the right side of that Charger O-line. On the handoff up the middle. Another solid pickup there for Corey Ball.
Corey Ball gets the call again on
Just a workman-like drive here from Chatfield. AOS goal on defense was to not give up the big play. They've done a real good job of that so far.
2nd and 3 to go for Chatfield at the AOS 30.
Running behind that big offensive line. Got the tight end in there as well, number 30, Jude Smith. An early motion, but not enough to draw the encroachment. Keep an eye on 3rd down on number 7, Drew Rollman in the slot top of the screen. And now Chatfield will take time. Let's take a quick moment to thank some of the sponsors of AWest football this season. American Family Insurance and Aaron Turner. The Arvada Driving School. Arvada Sport and Spine Group. Avos Dental Specialists, that's AVOS. The DGD Services. Flatirons Dance. Giambracco and Sons Garden Center. Major HVAC. Prep Right Coatings and Contracting. Sign Gypsies Foothills, State Farm by Tim Sexton, and Weston Maine Homes by Kendra Lanterman. Got to do our housekeeping there and make sure to thank the folks that make these broadcasts possible and support Colorado high school football. Our officials tonight, Mike Kelly is the referee. Umpire Chris Stearns, Stephen Whitman, J.J. McClellan, and Aaron Mayaki are the other officials in this one, and we got to thank those guys. Can't have high school football without officials. Nobody's favorite role, but this is their Friday night as well. These guys serving the community and doing their very best to get the calls right, and they do a pretty good job. On the pump fake, throwing deep, there's Rollman. And Drew Rollman is into the end zone. Touchdown, Chatfield. Great pump fake there from Jake Jones. And how about Rollman now? 14 catches on the season, 7 touchdowns. He's been living in the end zone. Another big play there for Chatfield. And they make it 20-0. Drew Rollman.
That was number 7, Drew Rollman on the touchdown for Chatfield.
14 catches and 7 touchdowns. Extra point is up and good. So this season now, Jones has thrown 9 touchdowns. 7 of them have gone to Drew Rollman.
21-0.
Big time receiving target there at tight end, 6'3", 200-pounder, as Chatfield imposing their will here in the middle part of this game. First quarter was played to a 0-0 tie. 14-0 run by Chatfield in the second, and now it's 3 unanswered scores for the Chargers. Six plays, 83 yards, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Good stuff there from Luch Panazzo. As Chatfield strikes on the long passing play to Drew Rollman. They have hit a lot of those big passes this season. It's exactly what they were hoping to avoid. Passing plays of 52, 75, and 56 this season for the Chargers. Boy, this kickoff is obliterated into the back of the end zone. That was impressive from number 4, Andrew Astone. I mean, he struck that ball about as well as you can strike it. And make it now 1st and 10 for the Cats, as their offense needs to get after it on their first drive here of the third quarter. Gio Panazzo, the big fella at left tackle, committed to Wyoming, 6'6", 250-pounder. Bryce Miller just to his right, 5'11", 280. Here's Somalia running hard, but he took a big lick right there in the middle of the defense by number 28 for the Chargers. And that's Hunter Balderstrom.
And up number 12, Adrian Somalia.
Well, if you could combine Gio Panazzo and Bryce Miller, you might have the perfect offensive lineman. At that height and that width. Jaden Somalia is the center. Caleb Harr is the right guard. Both of those men are sophomores. And it's Weisner starting at right tackle. Throwing. A dangerous pass will fall incomplete. Looking for number 17. That's Keegan Balistreri.
Do a check back to pass. Incomplete. Is number 17, Keegan Balistreri.
So now a big 3rd down and 8.
3rd and 8 now. Coming up for A-West, their own 20.
Upcoming for the Cats. On kind of a must-have it down. Keep an eye on Avery DeWeese rushing the passer, matched up with Gio Panazzo. Panazzo able to take care of business, but the other rusher gets home. And this will be a sack for the Chargers. A fumble picked up by Chatfield inside the 10. And now some pushing and shoving after the play. Flag will come out.
And he's going to be tackled on the backfield there for a sack. It's number 17 on the stop for Chatfield. Nate.
And what a play there made by Nate Helms, the sophomore. And look, I'll call that one a coverage sack. Offensive line did a pretty good job. Just nowhere to go with the ball down the field. And then some extracurriculars after the play. Just hoping if you're a Wildcat fan that this one perhaps could go against Chatfield.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. Number 33, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Results in a 1st down.
Wow. In fact, I thought Chatfield had the football there on the fumble. They say no fumble, just a sack, and a 15-yard penalty gives the Wildcats brand new life.
And a penalty results in an automatic 1st down for the
Wildcats. Huge call there goes against the Chargers. Huge crowd on this near side looking for something to cheer for the Wildcats. Facing the number 6 team in the state. A flag comes in here. That's in the area of an offensive hold. Flag thrown by the umpire there, Chris Stearns. And this one's going to march back A-West this time.
The offense, number 57, 10-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
Got those young fellas up front. Caleb Harr, Adrian Somalia, among many players for A-West that played significant roles as freshmen. Harr called for the hold that time at right guard. It's Jaden Somalia ready to snap it back to Logan Duacek. And they throw it into the flat, and that play is blown up. Looking for Hatch. What a day it's been for Dagan Myers, number 1. Had the punt return touchdown. And now a big hit there in the flat. And Hatch, who's another good-looking athlete there for A-West, trying to find a way to get him the football. But Dagan Myers, number 1, you can see him walking around there with a little bit of swagger. He's had a big night. It's Shelp on the other side. It's a highly touted corner as well. Looking deep down the seam. It's broken up by guess who? Dagan Myers on the coverage there for Chatfield. And look, they were able to get a free release on the receiver that time, Keegan Balistreri, and it was Myers ranging over with some closing speed to knock it away.
3rd down and 20 yards to go. from the AUS 21.
Now Myers will drop back and play some safety here. Can see pretty much every play. Big time outside leverage played there by Chatfield. You can see on the near side, they're pointing their backsides all the way to the sideline as if to say, hey, we're not going to allow anything to the boundaries. We want you to go over the middle where we've got lots of help. So far, that strategy's been paying off for the Chargers as they lead this one 21-0.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for you.
Arvada West facing a 3rd down and 22. Do a check over the middle. Has a receiver. That one's caught at midfield. It's Keegan Balistreri again. Has found himself open over the middle a couple of times. However, there's a flag in the offensive backfield. Coach Brad Pyatt telling me earlier tonight, when we execute, we've shown exactly what we can be. Early indication is this one's against the Chargers. Imagine they would just decline this, take the play. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Penalty against the defense will be declined as the ball will come all the way out here to the 47-yard line.
The hands on the defense, number 7. 10-yard penalty is declined. The result of play, first down.
This one will go for AOS first down. Pass complete to outfielder number 17, Keegan Balistreri. AOS will take it at their own 48.
So A-West here from their own 48-yard line. It's another run play. Another flag is down. This has not been a terribly clean game from either side. And this third quarter has been about as herky-jerky as it gets.
12,
Avery DeWeese says it's a hold.
54, 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Get another young player up front there for the Cats.
Number 33, Logan Country on the stop for Chatfield.
So back and forth we go on the penalty front. Might need to get some ice for the arms of our white hat tonight. Mike Kelly. And a busy man. 1st and 20. Really, it's been the umpire been throwing more flags than anybody. Chris Stearns. Launching it deep. Just away from the outstretched arms of number 13, Aiden Garcia. And stop me if you've heard this before. Another flag is down. I think this one's going to go against Chatfield on a defensive pass interference.
Pass interference on the defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, previous spot, first down.
Can't play a perfect night of football. Dagan Myers has been close. But called for the DPI that time. Now, I'm a big believer, high school, college, if you think you're about to get beat deep, interfere. It's 15 yards from the play, not from the spot of the foul. I mean, the NFL,
First down, 5 yards to go.
they could throw an 80-yard pass. You interfere, it's an 80-yard play. At the high school level, worst case scenario, it's 15 yards. And on this occasion, it doesn't even net Arvada West a first down.
Chatfield 48.
So it'll be first down and 5. I believe it's first down. Scoreboard shows second down. Marker says first. And to be honest, with all the penalties, I've lost track here. This has been pretty tough to watch in this third quarter. Throwing left side, Garcia. Chatfield's done a tremendous job on those screens the whole night. They've got 3 of them completed to Garcia, and every time he's been swarmed immediately.
Avery DeWeese.
That time they at least had big Gio Panazzo out in space, but just too many white shirts. See Panazzo there at left tackle. Surely they will get him in the weight room and the kitchen up there in Wyoming. Duacek stepping up. He'll be sacked. Avery DeWeese's big night continues. And another late flag.
Duacek back to pass, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Number 47, Avery DeWeese.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 91 of the defense. 15-yard penalty.
So if you're Chatfield here, you're really keeping A. West in the game with a couple of these drive extending penalties. From the way I saw it there, you had an offensive lineman trying to rip the defensive lineman off of the play. Cody Wittig, it looked like to me, came in to try to remove that guy. Now that does go on a pretty regular basis. And now our officials will get together again here. And I'll be the first guy to sing their praises, but this third quarter has been really tough to watch with all the penalties. I mean, essentially 1 per snap on this drive. I mean, maybe 6 or 7 plays in a row have been flagged.
Chains are set correctly.
Which sometimes that's not on them, that's on the players. But let's try to get some flow to the ball game here.
At Chatfield's 40-yard line.
From the 40, A. West needing a score. On play action, it's Duacek. He'll have to run it, and look at the big boy push the pile. You know, Duacek has got some real upside. Look at the physical tools for number 9. He's got some good feet, really nice big right arm, and probably a solid 6'4".
Caleb Espinoza.
And he's got some size on him too, not just length, but young man that's been in the weight room as well. Really excited to see how he continues to progress. Will be a major key for Arvada West. They got those 2 star running backs. Be fun to see Duacek come along. 2nd down and 8. Duacek fields the high snap, gives it to Somalia. Moore pushing after the play.
Number 12, Adrian Somalia.
No flag comes in this time.
For Chatfield, number 28, Hunter Balderston.
Balderston makes the stop for Chatfield. 3rd down and 5 upcoming. I would definitely consider this 4-down territory if you're the Cats. No value in kicking a field goal or punting. You need touchdowns. Blitz comes off the edge. Duacek steps up. DeWeese nearly had him again and then got rid of the football. There's going to be a conversation here about intentional grounding.
Duacek back to pass. That pressure in front of him.
I don't think it's going to come in, but they're at least going to discuss.
Makes it 4th down and 5.
And there is Mike Kelly there wearing the white hat. We'll keep the flags in the pocket for a big 4th down and 5. Boy, DeWeese nearly had another sack. Duacek did well with that big frame to extend the play. 4th down and 5. Logan throwing into traffic. It's incomplete. Looking for Noah Muir. And Chatfield gets off the field.
Looking for number 21, Noah Muir. It's number 28, Hunter Balderston. On the coverage for Chatfield. Turnover on downs. Chatfield will take it back.
By the way, got to give some love to my friends over at Altitude Sports. If you're watching us on your TV tonight on the small screen, big screen, wherever you might find us, and you have to go, let's say, run to the store, go ahead and put it on Altitude. You're going to hear Mark Mosier. We were chatting with Moj at halftime, as well as big, bad Matt McChesney of CU fame. Was a captain for the Buffs. Inside run there. Swallowed up by Tegan Chance. Nice play there by number 2. And, of course, our friend Cole Smith, who was our camera person here last night, he's the engineer up top tonight for Altitude. So, not saying turn us off, but if you're in the car,
Number 23.
pop on 92.5 and check out Altitude's coverage of this affair.
Number 2. Taking shots. Second down 10.
A keeper here for Jones. Able to make a man miss. Get to the edge. What a run here by Jake Jones. And a late flag will come in again here. Nifty work there by Jones. Really, it was right there at the line of scrimmage. A defender for A West had a chance, but a nice straight arm from number 13.
For the Chargers. On a stop for the Wildcats, number 6.
Let's look at Jake Jones there. Zoom in on number 13. 15, to the right. There we go. A little on-air production meeting. There he is. Jones, a leader. I feel like he's a real special ball player. Brad Pyatt certainly had great things to say about Jake Jones, and able to get it done with both the legs and the arm. 15 combined touchdowns this season for Jones. 8, rather make it 9 now as a passer. There's his head coach right there, Chris Rosholt. And 6 as a runner for Jake Jones. And he's been huge with his legs tonight, moving the chains. This third quarter has taken an eternity.
Personal foul, late hit, defense. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, non-player foul, and the offense. Those fouls offset. Result of the play, first down.
All right, so I think they got the Chatfield staff over there. It was labeled a non-player foul. By the way, I've really enjoyed their V-Hill and Jones bumping knuckles. I really enjoyed the sportsmanship from both sides tonight. It'd be easy to say, hey, we hate those guys. That's Chatfield. That's A West. But been a lot of mutual respect shown. Really appreciate that from both of these teams. So offsetting fouls make it a 1st and 10 there from the 45, rather right from the 50. And here goes Corey Ball. Taken down eventually by Adrian Somalia.
First down, Chargers.
And I'm happy to tell you, nope, I was about to in jest say we had no flags on the play, but I can't say it.
Offense, number 7, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
This third quarter has been less than aesthetically pleasing if you are a fan of the beautiful game of football. A great pass from Jones to Roman for the score. That was pretty. All the penalties, not so much. See if we can play some more actual football here as the ball comes to the other side of the 50. They'll give it to Corey Ball. Not going to jinx it this time. I'm now proud to tell you there were no flags thrown on that play.
Number 23, Corey Ball. The ball
Corey Ball takes it to the 45.
Taking shots.
Tegan Chance makes the play. Tegan's a real good linebacker. 40 tackles on the year in 5 games. That's 8 stops a game. Just in front of Jackson Pyatt for the team lead. Chance also with a sack. who is Ledger this season. Handoff, right side. Running into a couple of A West Wildcats. In particular, Daniel Diacomo. Let me see if I can say this name right. Daniel Diacomo. So Diacomo makes the stop there, 85. Also see big number 75, Christian Nightwalker. D'Amico, maybe. Butchered that one. Not my proudest moment. 85 seconds left in this third quarter. As Jones will go under center. They'll try to sneak it. Jones with a spin move. Now he's off to the races. Jake Jones takes a QB sneak in style into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers.
Touchdown, Chatfield Chargers.
There is a flag down. I believe it's going to be on the celebration.
Jake Jones.
What a run there by Jake Jones.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 13.
Maybe some kind of a hand gesture on his way into the end zone. Maybe talking a little bit as well. Flag came in before he crossed the goal line. Got to tip the cap, though, on what was a spectacular individual effort by Jake Jones. His 7th rushing score of the season. For the extra point, make it 28-0 there for Andrew Astone.
He's good.
Minute 13 left here in the third. It's all Chatfield.
You're watching NSPN.TV, the neighborhood sports network. For a low monthly rate, you can watch every game and show in Colorado and around the country.
Welcome to the neighborhood. You're watching NSPN.TV.
A Stone ready to kick it away. Pretty much no wind, but he blasted the last one through the back of the end zone. It's Green and Somalia back deep to return for the Cats. This one will be a short kick fielded by, well, it went past Green, and now he's got it at the 10. Here comes Jaden Green. Across the 25 to the 28, still a decent return there for the Wildcats.
It's number 1 on the return, Jaden Green.
Jaden Green, an exciting young ball player for Arvada West. Braden Zach has checked in on the offensive line. I see a couple of new bodies in there. Landon Woods, number 55.
Number 80. Half the distance, retain possession, first down.
Will be half the distance to the goal against the Wildcats. I'll tell you something else that stood out to me there. The A West student section, it was like some kind of a confetti popper, but blew that thing right mid-play. Certainly distracting to me. Pretty sure they don't want them doing that. There you see it go off again, but the last one made a big sound right in the middle of the snap. Quick throw left side.
Pass complete, number 13, Aiden Garcia.
That's Garcia.
And on the stop for Chatfield, number 10, Will Lawrence.
See that confetti flying. This A West crowd showed up tonight. I mean, it is packed from side to side here at the NAC. Their team currently trailing 28-0. Left side handoff here on second down. No room to run there for Jaden Green. Got to tip the cap to Chris Rosholt's squad. He was pretty frank with me in the pregame. We want to make him throw it. Doesn't mean we're going to win the game, but in no way do we want to get beat by A West's running game. They've done a really nice job defending those backs. No daylight tonight for Somalia or Green. That play will take us to the third quarter here at the NAC. Thanks for watching high school football coverage on NSPN.TV.
And we play.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high.
All right, it's Arvada West for the big third down play upcoming. Quarterback Logan Duacek looking right. Goes that way. There's Noah Muir coming back to the football to help out his quarterback. And moving the chains there for A West. Looking for something to build off here in this fourth quarter. And it's still a ball game. A West goes down and scores here, and it's certainly not over.
Number 1 on the stop for Chatfield, Dagan Myers.
Ball dropped there by Duacek, able to get it back. He'll fling it out of bounds. Pretty iffy on a potential intentional grounding, and there comes the flag. In a game, a half here that's been riddled with penalties. Tough to say that was part of the storyline of the third quarter, but it truly was.
Intentional grounding on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the spouse foul. Lost it down.
Second down and about 25 here for the Wildcats. Duacek throwing right. Whew. That one was dangerous. Will Lawrence had a pretty good chance at it in the flat.
And on the coverage, number 10, Will Lawrence for Chatfield. Third down and long coming up.
Third down and 25 now for the Cats. Pressure coming. Duacek able to get rid of the football. It's intercepted. Going the other way is Benjamin Weber. It's a house call for the Chargers. A pick 6 for Ben Weber. And it's all Chatfield here on the road. Make it 35-0. Chargers.
Interception on this one. It's number 3, Ben Weber. On the interception for Chatfield, takes it.
And some frustration for those offensive starters for the Cats. They'll be right back out there in just a minute, but now that's a punt return score and a defensive score for Chatfield as they're lighting up the scoreboard tonight. I spoke prematurely. It is now 35-0. And we're just one more score away from that running clock. Let's take a look around the Jeffco League. Columbine 6-0. Chatfield looks like they're moving to 5-1. Ralston Valley will be 5-1. Arvada West after this one looks like they will be 3-3. 0-5 is Pomona and 0-1 is Lakewood. But the winners in week 1 of league play, Ralston Valley, Columbine, and Chatfield. So the top 6 teams in the state, 3 of them reside in this very league. You're looking at number 6 right there, Chatfield. Columbine's number 3. We saw them here last night. And RV number 2. So quite a competitive top of the league in Jefferson County. High, deep kick. It'll be Green from the 1. And he's got some room. Down that left sideline, decent return for the Wildcats. 11:05 left in this one. Now once again, you're looking to find something to build on here in this fourth quarter. A lot of season left here for Arvada West and some winnable games upcoming. You got Lakewood next week. It'll be big test against Columbine. And then Pomona on the 20th. That game on the road. Bobbled snap again. Somalia has it, though, running hard across the 40. There goes Adrian Somalia across the 50. Best run of the day for the Wildcat offense. There is another flag down at the 45-yard line. And Adrian looks like he might be a little bit banged up holding that right hip.
10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
I will continue to emphasize you got 13 sophomore starters for Arvada West. Not juniors, but sophomores. All those guys going to grow up and get bigger, stronger, faster, smarter, get more coaching. That A West 3-0 start shows you they're really ahead of schedule. With this young group. And youngsters at important positions. 2 sophomores on the offensive line, 2 at running back, quarterback, linebackers. They just, you name the position, they got young players. And Somalia is going to get some work on this near sideline, so it'll be Jaden Green out there. Delay of game against A West will push him back for a first down and 8. And it's Green. Little hesitation, nice move there at the 30. He is a smooth runner of the football, Jaden Green. When you see these backs against teams that aren't the Chatfield Chargers, they really have a chance to show their ability. They are difference maker type of players for sure. And once again, think about that 2-headed monster. They're only 10th graders. It's going to be quite a duo. First and 10 after the nice run there by Green. They'll flip it right side. Nice hit right there at the 40-yard line. Well done. Once again, Reed Narva. He's played a good football game this evening.
2 checks pass complete. Thanks, number 14, Ian Morgan. On the stop for Chatfield, number 24, Reed Narva picks up a yard, 2nd down and 9. For the A West 41.
Just about a half-yard pickup that time. Call it 2nd down and 9. Under 10 minutes to play here at the net. Plenty of time this time for the sophomore. Going deep over the middle. It's broken up. That's a tough duo to test right there, number 1 and number 3. That's Weber and Myers. Myers providing the man-to-man coverage with Weber over the top. It's a really good group. And I'll tell you, the guy at the very top of the screen, let's go find Nagis Shelp. Right there, number 0. We haven't called his name because they haven't thrown the ball anywhere near number 0 almost the entire night. And he has not been involved, which is a pretty good sign as a corner that you have done your job in the ball game. I mean, he hasn't even been targeted. I don't think that I can remember have not seen number 0 forced into action. Big interception last week against Dakota Ridge for Shelp. Good ball player. And there was a holding call on the play, so it'll make a 2nd and 19 here for A West. Throwing, dangerous throw. Caught over there again in the flat by Garcia, and it's Reed Narva again. Narva's made a bunch of plays. Shameless self-promotion. Tomorrow on KCDO, Local 3, and the RMAC Network, I'll have Colorado School of Mines and Chadron State. Wardiggers currently the number 2 team in the nation. Lost in that national championship game last year, looking to make a return trip to McKinney, Texas. Timeout taken here by a frustrated Arvada West. 8:50 left in this one. 35-0 the score in favor of the Chargers. Third and 15, big play here for the Cats. 3 receivers to the right for Duachak. Looking over the middle. It's intercepted. There's Weber again, looking for his 2nd straight pick 6. Weber, eventually they say went to a knee. And it will be Chatfield taking over in premium field position. Under 9 minutes left. Ben Weber with about 60 return yards on interceptions here in this 4th quarter alone. Huge play by him there. And the pick 6 is what really made this one unreachable for the Wildcats. So a huge 4th quarter for Ben Weber. That's a nice season for most guys. 2 interceptions. Weber's first 2 pickoffs of the year. Run up the gut Goes for just a few. Looks like most of the starters are still out there for Chatfield.
Making the stop for A West, number 3, Jackson Hyatt.
Pyatt's had a big night. His dad tells me he does not care about stats, team guy, wants to help the team win. Not an egocentric type of ball player. So a big individual night for him, but sure not satisfied with the result. Up the middle goes Corey Bowl. Riker Robinson has checked in, number 20.
Number 23, Corey Ball.
For Arvada West.
Takes the handoff on the stop for A West, number 7, Cameron Meyer. It'll be a third.
Cameron Meyer makes the stop. 3rd and 1.
17.
The rule in Chassa, if you eclipse a 40-point lead, it's a rolling clock the rest of the way. So Chatfield right knocking on the door of that 40-point plateau. And it's Ball up the middle for 6. Chatfield makes it 41-0. Stunning. The home crowd and sideline for the Wildcats. What a performance here by Chatfield, showing that they deserve that top 6 in the state ranking. Currently the number 6 team in Colorado. And looks like they pretty much deserve that kind of ranking. The score is not indicative of how competitive Arvada West was in the game. But now that rolling clock here with a score of 41-0. They'll make it 42-0. Clock rolls here under 6.5 minutes left. Chargers in control.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are.
I apologize there, operator error. Didn't bring you that return. Still had a commercial plan. It was my fault. Folks, thanks for watching NSPN.TV's coverage of Colorado high school football. Tune in all week long for live coverage of high school sports and more. And remember, you can watch archive versions of games and highlights on the Neighborhood Sports Network, NSPN.TV. So if you're enjoying this game as a Chatfield Charger fan, go back and rewatch it. Share it with family. Make sure to preserve those memories. Do a check. Hands off. It's swallowed up by Chatfield, who is really playing with some confidence at this point. The Chargers just firing on all cylinders here in the second half, where the score is 28-0. It's gone quick in this second half, or rather in this fourth quarter. The third quarter dragged on, but the fourth, now with that running clock, as that ball was tipped and ultimately incomplete. Two Chargers making a mad dash. Forget the scoreboard. Do you think those guys want the interception on their stat sheet? Yeah, they sure do. That's what's always interesting about the game of football. You can't not try. You can't put a defensive player in and say don't give your best effort. I mean, it's just not how football is played, especially when you put a backup in the game. That's their chance to show what they got. 3rd and 12. It's Green up the middle, bouncing it. And chopped down there at the 30. Another really nice play by Reed Narva. And it's a punting situation here for the Wildcats. Reed Narva's had a big day. All right, I'm going to ask my production crew over here who they think is the player of the game in this one. Kind of a tough choice. It was such a team effort here. I'll make some nominees. Ben Weber, pick 6, 2 interceptions in the game. Dagan Myers, punt return touchdown. I thought Reed Narva played his tail off as well. How about Avery DeWeese? A couple of sacks, fumble recovery, a rushing touchdown. Have to think about Jake Jones at quarterback. Drew Roman, touchdown run or touchdown reception. Corey Balls had a nice day running the football. So Luch Panazzo says it's number 3, Ben Weber. What do you think, Stephen Bopp? 47, Avery DeWeese. Let's give both of those guys a game ball tonight. DeWeese, a little bit of everything. And Weber, the 2 impact plays. Anytime you score on defense, you really increase the chances that your team's going to come out victorious. Same thing in the special teams game with Dagan Myers on the punt return. But I think Ben Weber and Avery DeWeese definitely deserved of our player of the game in this one. And not sure what the extended delay is about here. Clock will continue to roll. We're down to just 80 seconds left in this one. Up next for Chatfield is Pomona. Then they'll play Lakewood. And they've got to end their season with 2 monster games on their schedule. Ralston Valley on the 20th, Columbine on the 27th.
Quarterback kneel down for Chatfield.
There's a kneel down for the Chargers.
And A West fans, a reminder, if you have not
for A West,
called for a ride yet,
they'll play Lakewood next week, then Columbine, then Pomona, then finish their season off with Ralston Valley. That's what's up next for these 2 teams. Both clubs will have a chance to be in the win column again next week. This one is a final, 42-0. Jake Jones takes one more knee, and Chatfield, the number 6 team in Colorado, with a thorough victory tonight here on the road. So for A West, still a lot of positive to build on. Not the result they wanted, but some more winnable games on the schedule coming up for the Wildcats as well. Got to thank Brad Duke, our technical producer, Amy Fauché, our executive producer, Stephen Bopp running the camera, Luch Panazzo taking some stats. My name's Miles Dunklin, saying so long here from the NAC. Our final score, it's Arvada West Wildcats 0, Chatfield Chargers 42.